You may have been told that life is just a series of events that you can't control. You've been told success comes from luck, timing, or connections. But what if I told you that ultimate power isn't external, it's internal? That's the way you think, perceive, and react shapes the entire trajectory of your life. This is the world of Stoicism, a philosophy that has survived over 2,000 years because it works. By the end of this episode then, you'll understand how the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca and Epictetus can give you clarity in chaos, turn setbacks into opportunities and give you mastery over your mind, no matter the storms around you. So imagine waking up one morning and being told everything you know about life is upside down. Your fears, desires and attachments, all illusions in the grand scheme. The things you chase won't bring you happiness, only your mind does. Now imagine looking in the mirror. The reflection shows your choices, your reactions, your character. Stoicism teaches that this reflection, not external fortune, is the ultimate measure of your life. What would you change? How would you act differently today? So Stoicism was founded by Zeno of Citium around 300 BC in Athens. He taught on the Stoa Poikile, the painted porch, giving the philosophy its name. It was a practical philosophy for living, not abstract speculation. Its purpose was to guide the mind to clarity, resilience and virtue, and to make life manageable even in adversity. The great Stoics, Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, showed us that happiness is not a product of wealth, fame or external validation. It comes from rational thought, self-mastery and virtue. So you'll probably be familiar with the fact that Stoicism like their quotes, don't they? There's quotes that really illustrate the key notions of Stoicism. So we're going to go through around 30 of them. The first one's about the dichotomy of control. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realise this and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. So Marcus emphasised that while we can't dictate the world, we can govern our perceptions and judgments. Understanding this is the first step towards freedom. Consider how much energy you waste worrying about things beyond your control. Every moment spent fretting is energy lost. Imagine yourself as a captain steering a ship through a storm. The waves are external chaos. The helm is your mind. You can't control the sea, but you can navigate the ship. So here's an actionable step. Today, list 3 things troubling you that are beyond your control. Focus instead on what you can do, the thoughts you can choose, the words you can speak, the actions you can take. Number 2 is virtue is the highest good. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Seneca. So Seneca shows that happiness is rooted in virtue, not external success. True joy comes from living rightly, not accumulating possessions. Anxiety about the future clouds judgment. By grounding yourself in the present, your mind becomes a fertile space for gratitude and clarity. So here's a thought experiment. Imagine planting a tree. You water it, you tend to it and let it grow naturally. You can't make it grow any faster. So it is with life. Cultivate your virtues now and trust the growth will follow. So here's an actionable step. Practice one virtuous act each day, whether it's honesty, patience or courage, and observe how inner peace grows, independent of outcomes. Number 3 is life is change. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Marcus Aurelius. Marcus highlights impermanence. Clinging to permanence brings suffering. Acceptance brings freedom. Every challenge, every loss, every unexpected event is a reminder. Change is inevitable. Perception is optional. A visual metaphor, isn't it, really? Life is like a river. You can't stop it, but you can steer your boat to ride the currents skillfully. So an actionable step would be to reflect daily on changes that occurred. Ask yourself how your perception shaped your experience and how you can choose perspective over or next time, rather. Number 4 is about rationality and choice. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus. Epictetus teaches that your reaction is where your true power lies. External events are neutral, meaning is assigned by your mind. Consider losing a client or facing criticism. The event itself is neutral. The emotional storm arises from your interpretation of it. A mirror reflects light. It doesn't judge it. Your mind reflects events. Choose reflection wisely. So here's an actionable step. Before reaching or reacting to any situation, pause and ask, is this within my control? And how can I respond virtuously? Number 5 is accepting fate. Amor fati. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. Marcus Aurelius. Amor fati encourages radical acceptance. Life unfolds as it will. Resistance breeds suffering. Consider someone cutting in traffic. You can fume or accept and move on. Acceptance conserves energy for real challenges. Thought experiment. Imagine a sculptor with a block of marble. Obstacles are chisel marks. The final statue emerges precisely because of the resistance. So an actionable step would be to identify one current difficulty and to imagine it as a tool shaping your character. Number 6 then is obstacles as opportunities. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. Every obstruction is a chance for growth. Frustration is optional. Insight is mandatory. A real life example would be losing a job that might force skill development you'd never otherwise pursue. Metaphor is that fire tempers steel. Heat and pressure create strength. So an actionable step would be to choose one obstacle today and ask, what can I learn here? How can this refine me? Number 7 is difficulty strengthen the mind. Difficulty strengthen the mind as laboured as the body, according to Seneca. Adversity builds resilience, patience and judgment. Mental toughness, like muscle, requires stress. Consider athletes, they train under strain to perform effortlessly in competition. Your mind works the same. A metaphor would be, a rope is strongest where it's been stretched. So actionable steps. Reframe today's challenge as mental training. What strength will it build? Number 8 is imagination versus reality. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. Epictetus. The mind exaggerates threats. Most suffering comes from imagined scenarios. Thought experiment. Imagine you fear fully manifesting. How much of it was realistic? Often none. So actionable step would be to list your fears. Analyse what is real and what is projection. Release the imagined. Number 9 is thoughts shape happiness. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. Inner peace is cultivated through disciplined thought. Toxic thoughts create toxic lives. Metaphor would be that your mind is a garden. What you water grows. Weeds choke life. An actionable step would be to journal negative thoughts. and replace them with reasoned, virtuous alternatives. Number 10 is suffering from imagination. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca. Anxiety often precedes reality. Mental rehearsal is optional. Conscious presence is freedom. So visualize a dark hallway, and it seems terrifying until you walk it. Your mind exaggerated the danger. An actionable step would be to practice mindfulness. Face reality step by step. Number 11 is mastery of self equals freedom. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus. Control over desire, impulse, and judgment is true freedom. External circumstances are secondary, aren't they? So imagine a king enslaved by anger. Despite power, he's captive to his emotions. So an actionable step would be to track impulses. Do my desires control me, or do I control them? Should be a question that you ask yourself. Number 12 is daily gratitude. When you arise in the morning, realise what a privilege it is to be alive. Think of the wonders that your life holds. Marcus Aurelius. Most people get up thinking, ugh, another day. But gratitude resets perspective. Life's small gifts accumulate into peace and motivation. So count 5 things that you often take for granted and reflect on them for a minute or minute or two each. So begin each morning with gratitude journaling. Number 13 is negative visualization. He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive. Seneca. Contemplating loss sharpens appreciation and courage. So you could visualize losing wealth, losing loved ones, or status. How would you act? So focus on what truly matters. An actionable step would be regularly practice imagining worst case scenarios to build resilience. Number 14 is keep thoughts on what you control. Keep your thoughts continually on the things that are in your control. Epictetus. Control your thoughts, control your focus, release obsession over the uncontrollable. Metaphor would be a tightrope walker must focus on balance, not the wind. An actionable step would be make a daily list of controllables and uncontrollables and prioritise the first. Number 15, the rock in the storm, and this is one of my favourite quotes. To be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. The raging of the sea falls still around it. Marcus Aurelius. Unshakable resilience comes from inner stability, not avoidance of challenges. Waves crash, but the rock remains. Your mind is the rock. An actionable step would be to identify one ongoing stressor and anchor yourself internally instead of trying to control the storm. Number 16 is resilience through adversity. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Seneca. Growth requires challenge. Comfort alone breeds stagnation. A thought experiment might be to reflect on a personal hardship that taught you strength and applying that lens to current struggles. An actionable step would be to reframe discomfort as refinement. Number 17 is to focus on the present task. Do every act of your life as though it was the very last act of your life. Marcus Aurelius. Presence cultivates mastery. It reduces distraction and aligns actions with values. A metaphor would be that each action is a brushstroke. Painting life carefully ensures beauty. So today then, immerse yourself fully in each task. Observe how your efficiency and peace grow. Number 18 is to control emotion and master life. If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them. And it is in your power to wipe out that judgment now. Marcus Aurelius. Perception determines reaction. Emotional mastery is achievable. A thought experiment would be to replay a recent irritation. Shift perspective. How could it be neutral? An actionable step would be to pause before reacting and reassessing your judgment. Number 19 is death as motivation. It is not death that a man should fear, but you should fear never beginning to live. Marcus Aurelius. Mortality is a motivator for purposeful living. Imagine looking back at life. Would regrets outweigh accomplishments? So align today's action with a long-term purpose as an actionable step. Happiness from within. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, in the words of Epictetus. Desire creates suffering. Moderation creates freedom. A cup overfilled spills. A steady, controlled pour satisfies. So evaluate your wants and distinguish essential from trivial. Sometimes we have too many things in the house, and actually it can be an issue. If we get rid of things, actually we feel free. Prepare for trials. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Epictetus. Gratitude combats envy and dissatisfaction. A thought experiment would be to list possessions, relationships, abilities you've taken for granted and celebrate them. Again, gratitude's important. Number 22 is avoid wasteful emotion. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. Seneca. Calmness is armour, panic is weakness. So visual metaphor is the calm lake that reflects truth. Turbulent water distorts reality. So in challenge, take 3 deep breaths before responding. Number 23 then, life is a training ground. Difficulties are things that show a person what they are, in the words of Epictetus. Life's hardships reveal character. Avoidance masks weakness. So a thought experiment would be, journal daily setbacks. What do they reveal about your habits, choices and mindset? And then we should review challenges weekly and extract lessons. That's the actionable step. Focus on action, not outcome. Number 24. Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well. Epictetus. Acceptance frees mental energy from meaningful action. Sailing in the wind, with the wind, not against it, is important. So focus on effort and release obsession with results. That's the actionable step here. Wish for everything to happen as it will happen. Moderation in design, number 25. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Epictetus. True autonomy comes from mastering desires. Thought experiments would be that imagine desires as invisible chains. Each release grants mobility. Identify one craving today. Practice conscious restraint. Number 26 is time awareness. Imagine this. Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. Seneca. Time is finite. You can treat every day as a microcosm of life. Each day is a coin and you spend it wisely. An actionable step would be to plan the day around virtues, not distractions. Number 27. No great thing is created suddenly. Epictetus. Mastery requires steady effort. Frustration actually slows growth. Reflect on skills you admire. None were instant, were they? Apply the same patience to your life. We want our business to be $1 billion business overnight and to sell 1 billion books and a podcast to be the next Joe Rogan. But nothing great is created suddenly, as Epictetus said. So set a long-term goal and break it into micro steps and celebrate progress. Number 28 then is present awareness. Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. Marcus Aurelius. Urgency motivates moral action. Life's brevity actually clarifies priorities for you. Each moment is a spark. So burn it brightly. And an actionable step would be maybe choose one deliberate, virtuous act now and go for it. Number 29 is control is mental. It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. Epictetus. And we've talked about this a few times in the variety of quotes. Perception is the battlefield. Mastery of it is victory. So recall a recent irritation again. Imagine it without judgment and feel the difference there. So when stressed, ask, is this disturbance real or is it my interpretation? A great actionable step. And number 30 is Stoicism in action. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. We tend to argue, oh, this is how you should live, that's how you should live. Why not just live like that? Philosophy is lived, not discussed. Integrity manifests in deeds. A tree proves its strength by standing, not by lecturing. So choose something today that you're going to work on, an actionable step, and do it with intention and presence. Stoicism isn't resignation as people think. It's active mental mastery. Each thought, each choice, each reflection trains your mind to handle adversity, to find clarity and to live purposefully. By internalising these 30 quotes, you can start to understand what Stoicism is about. You become the rock in the storm, the captain of your ship, the gardener of your own mind. So start today to understand these quotes, to embody the knowledge within there, and understand that, okay, sometimes you can't control in life what happens to you, but you can control what actions you take beyond that and how you think about what happened, because sometimes bad things that happen to you are for a reason. They're the obstacle that is the way. They are there to polish you like friction on a gem, as we've talked about. So Stoicism is about having a unbiased mind and in some ways turning negatives into positives.